The Snezhnaya teaser trailer completely changed everything we know about Genshin Impact's Endgame. But underneath the cool visual lies a massive debate in the lore community. Is the Tsaritsa executing a flawless master plan to overthrow the gods? Or is she a grieving mother walking into a catastrophic trap? Today we are mapping out the entire highly theoretical roadmap for Chapter 6 from version 7.0 straight to the final war against the heaven. Our journey in the nation of Cryo begins not with the grand welcome but with the total breakdown of everything we expect. Here is how I see the opening act of Snezhnaya completely shifts from the stake of the traveler. Upon crossing the borders with version 7.0, the traveler may find Snezhnaya in the middle of a catastrophic internal crisis rather than as a flawless military machine. The capital's primary life support system, the Kresnik torch, could already be freezing over, sparking a brutal resource shortage. We might see Tsaritsa in version 7.0. To make matter worse, Oyo might pull a massive high-stake narrative move early on. Paimon could suddenly fall severely ill from the supernatural creeping cold or the localized divine curse. The unexpected crisis may force the traveler to leave her behind in the safe zone to recover, completely isolating us and forcing the traveler to navigate this hostile nation entirely alone for the first time in years. Left completely on our own, we might get instantly caught in the vicious internal rift splitting the country. On one side, Borinitsa and the other noble fraction known as the Stolen Fae may view the loss of Teyvat as unforgivable curse, tempting a violent coup. On the other hand, Valerie and his fraction could be unleashing a ruthless Fatui military force to maintain the absolute control at any cost. Amidst the chaos of version 7.1, the political war might finally explode into a full-blown street battle. Here we are introduced to Vesna, a highly charismatic powerhouse commanding the Duzha, an elite royal force answering strictly and exclusively to Tsaritsa. After the traveler helps her holding the lines in the palace gates against the noble rebellion, we might finally earn her trust. Recognizing our strength, Vesna might use her unique royal authority to bypass the Fatui and grant us an excuse to have our private audience with the Archon. Act 2. The Heart of the Empress and the Ancient Witness. Once we finally step in the inner sanctuary of Zapolyarny Palace, the political squabbles of Snezhnaya takes a massive backseat for a heavy, lore-driven patch. This is where the emotional soul of the region is finally laid bare. When we finally meet the Tsaritsa, she might be revealed not as a heartless cold tyrant but as a deeply grieving mother. The trailer hints that 500 years ago, her child was struck by a horrific divine curse during the cataclysm. In the desperate act of love to halt this transformation into a monster, she might have used her supreme cryo powers to freeze him in the state of absolute stasis, buying herself time to rewrite the rules of the world and find a cure. Now, hear me out. Alongside this revelation, version 7.2 could formally introduce Noi, a highly suspicious, all-knowing figure who carries the exact same ancient heavy aura as Zhongli. Rather than a normal mortal or a modern Fatui officer, Noi might be a primordial powerhouse who is thousands of years of old. Of his dedicated story quest may reveal that portal-like markings on his neck are a literal ancient brands left on him by the primordial shades, making him a silent witness to Teyvat's true forgotten story. Now that brings us to the absolute turning point of the entire Snezhnaya arc, the true nature of the Project Stuzha. Looking at the chilling climax of the teaser trailer, where the capital's Kresnik torch is completely iced over, the community is deeply divided on what this actually means. Based on everything we have analyzed, I have two major theories to present regarding how this massive endgame conflict will play out. Here are the two paths I think the story could take. Theory A: the calculated masterstroke. The first theory is that Project Stuzha is terrifying but highly calculated success. By intentionally draining Snezhnayan resources and freezing the Kresnik torch, the Tsaritsa successfully hitting a global pause button. This extreme cold act as a perfect shield, completely blinding the heavenly principles and halting the laws of the fate. This is exactly why we see Tsaritsa standing face to face with Renova, the ruler of death, with a scythe in her hand. She has successfully forced a god into a corner where she can finally ready to cut down the old celestial order on her own frozen terms. Theory B: the tragic false warmth. However, there is an alternative, much darker possibility we have to consider. What if Project Stuzha isn't a master plan but a catastrophic failure or a deception? Remember, Tsaritsa herself warns us about the false warmth that comforts but doesn't actually save. It's highly possible that she is being entirely blinded by her grief as a mother and is being manipulated by Pierro, who might be using Snezhnaya as a sacrificial lamb for Khaenri'ah's ultimate revenge. Or worse, the frozen torch wasn't a Fatui's victory at all, but a primitive strike by Renova to paralyze the nation before the Tsaritsa could even swing her scythe. In this scenario, she isn't executing a perfect plan, she is launching a desperate suicide mission because her country is already dying. No matter which of these two theories plays out, the catastrophic war against the heaven will permanently shatter the old world's order. As the snow settles, the story shifts towards the ultimate future of the Teyvat. Following the catastrophic conflict, Snezhnaya may enter a longer period of reconstruction as Fatui's iron grip officially breaks, allowing the citizen to build a society free from the fear of celestial judgment. The narrative focus could shift toward the universe outside the false sky. Legendary figures like Alice might finally step into the light to guide us alongside the new generation characters like Medea, Danica, Ryan Daughter, or the Shades, who might hold the key to navigating the cosmos beyond the Teyvat. So, what do you think? Is Tsaritsa a genius mastermind freezing the world to bind the gods, or is she a grieving mother walking directly into Pierro's trap? Let me know your theories in the comment below, and don't forget like and subscribe for more deep lore files, and I'll see you in the next video.